Good morning, friends. Today again we will demonstrate three experiments. Number one, Thevenin's theorem. Number two, Norton's theorem. Number three, superposition theorem. You need to verify all these theorems. So we will show you all these theorems altogether by this theorem kit. This box is called theorem kit. In this kit we can verify several network theorems. Now if you closely look in this theorem kit, we have got 4 sources available. You see, these two are 12 volt sources and these two are 5 volt sources. We have got options available for various resistances. We have got 100 ohms, we have got 1 kilo ohm, we have got 2.2 kilo ohm, something like that. And we have got the circuit, a T-like circuit in which we should apply our this theorems, where we should implement these theorems and verify them. Now this is the circuit on which we should verify the theorems. You see, we apply simple T network R1, R2, R3. We choose R1 and R2 equal to 100 ohm and R3 equal to 1 kilo ohm. Current flowing through R3 is I. We need to verify this current. We have two sources connected, V1 and V2. We choose V1 is equal to 12 volt. We choose V2 is equal to 5 volt. So we need to verify this current, what is the actual amount of current flowing through this R3 by means of Thevenin's theorem first, then Norton's theorem, then superposition theorem. So first let us develop this network into this panel or experimental kit. First, from this 12 volt source, we should connect to, let us place here circuit diagram. From 12 volt source we should place this wire into R1. What is R1? 100 ohm. So this is my 100 ohm. So this is the circuit, or this is the connection. So from tail end of that resistor, it is going where? From tail end of the R1 it is going to head end of R2. So what is R2? R2 is 100 ohm. So from tail end of this 100 ohm, one connection is provided to the head end of the 100 ohm. Where is 100 ohm? This is the 100 ohm. Okay? And from the tail end of the second 100 ohm or R2, one connection is provided to positive end of V2. Now since V2 is 5 volt, we should use this supply. Now since these theorems are developed in DC module, DC supply, so polarity is very essential, so you need to add polarity appropriately, otherwise you will get reverse connection or reverse current. Now the junction between R1 and R2 means this wire is junction between R1 and R2. From there it's going to R3. That means R3 is 1 kilo ohm. So junction between R1 and R2, that means either this or this, whatever it may be, it's same. So from junction between R1 and R2, one wire is going to R3, that is the that is going to 1 kilo ohm resistance. From the tail end of the 1 kilo ohm resistance, it is going where? This is an ammeter present in order to measure the current. So from the tail end of the 1 kilo ohm resistance, it's going to the ammeter. See, this is the ammeter connected on the panel itself. from the reverse end or from the tail end of the ammeter it is coming where? It is coming to ground. So this line, look minutely, this line is taken as ground line. And lastly, you need to connect the negative end of the source to the ground for V1 and V2. So we would connect 12 volt negative or ground line to this, and we would connect 5 volt negative end terminal to this ground connection. So this is N. So if you switch it now, you should get the total amount of current flowing. You see it is 10.1 milliampere. You can please take a note. I is equal to 10.1 milliampere. So this is the actual amount of current flowing. This is the actual amount of current flowing through the circuit through R3. Now you need to verify this 10.1 milliampere current by means of Thevenin's theorem, by means of Norton's theorem, and finally by means of superposition theorem. This is our objective.
Start.
So what is the first step in case of Thevenin's theorem? You know, you need to open circuit the load resistance. In our case, what is our load resistance? Our load resistance is R3. So you need to remove this R3. You need to open circuit this R3 and to measure open circuit voltage, which is set Thevenin voltage. So if you remove this R3, then the equivalent circuit will look like this. You see, R3 has been removed and this branch is totally open, so we should measure Thevenin voltage. You see, it is VTH for Thevenin. You see, V1 and V2 is kept as 12 and 5 volt, R1 and R2 is 100 volt is same, but R3 has been eliminated by open circuiting them. So let us develop this network. You see, this 12 volt source, from 12 volt source, one terminal is going to 100 ohm. So from tail end of that R1, it is going to the head end of the R2, which is again 100 ohm. And from the tail end of the R2, it is going to the 5 volt source positive, and from both the negative terminals, source negative terminals, it is going to the ground line. And finally, in order to measure the Thevenin voltage, you should connect voltmeter in parallel. So where should you connect? You see, the plus terminal is red, means plus. So plus terminal you must connect in between R1 and R2. So this is the terminal R1 and R2. Okay, this is the terminal R1 and R2. You see, this is the junction between R1 and R2. So in any one terminal you can connect, and this negative terminal you should connect to the ground. So you should connect here. So if you switch on now, you see current is 0 now. Current is 0 because it is open, and Thevenin voltage is coming 10.7 volt. You please take a note. Thevenin voltage is coming 10.7 volt. Now once you have measured VThevenin, next step to measure RThevenin, that is Thevenin resistance. What is the step? You know, while measuring Thevenin resistance, all sources needs to be removed. If it is a voltage source, it has to be short circuited. If it is a current source, then it has to be open circuited. Now in our case, since we have got two voltage sources here, we must short them. We must short V1 and V2. So if you short V1 and V2, then equivalent circuit of that would be this. So you see, if you short V1, it will look like this. If you short V2, it will look like this. So it will only think R1 and R2 will remain present in the network, and you must measure the Thevenin resistance from the back terminal of the network. That means you need to measure RThevenins from load terminals. So how to implement this in the theorem kit? So this is the source. This is the source. So you need to just short it. You need to just short it like this. And secondly, you have got another source. This 5 volt source. You need to short this. Now, since it is a resistance measurement, you need not switch on the circuit. You need not switch on the circuit. So we use a multimeter. We use a multimeter to measure the Thevenin equivalent resistance. So you see the Thevenin resistance must be measured with respect to this load terminal. So one terminal is in junction between R1 and R2. So we fix one terminal here, this junction between R1 and R2, and another terminal is the either head end of R1 or tail end of R2, either head end of R1 and tail end of R2. So this is the head end of R1, so we should fix here. Now you see, let's see what is coming. One minute.
Right.
Yes, this is the actual value, perfect value, 50.6. Okay, so 50.6 resistance. Please note it down. Actually, why it is coming? Because you see, with respect to load terminals, R1 and R2 are nothing but connected in parallel. So 200 ohms connected in parallel is 50 ohm. So in place of 50 ohm, it is coming 50.6 ohm. So it is almost same.
Start.
So final step for Thevenin's theorem is to construct Thevenin equivalent network. So we should connect VThevenin in series with RThevenin and RL. So you know all the values. So we should calculate the current, verified current value. If you substitute all the values, VThevenin and RThevenin, we should get 10.18 milliampere. So this is the verified current, and actual current flowing was 10.1 milliampere. So these two values are quite same. So Thevenin's theorem has been verified. So after verifying Thevenin's theorem, let's come to Norton's theorem. Let us verify it. So first step for Norton's theorem, you know, to measure Norton's current. How to measure Norton's current? You need to, previously your load has been removed by open circuiting it. Now load has to be short circuited by this. Load, yes, which is R3, it has to be short circuited, and you need to measure short circuit current, or IN. IN is called Norton current. So let us develop this circuit in the panel or in the theorem kit. So this 12 volt from 100 ohm to that's R1 to R2, from R2 to 5 volt V2, so from V1 to V2 ground, this has been already done. So I am not repeating them. So now for junction between R1 and R2, it is going to R3. So let's connect it. So this is junction between R1 and R2. So let's connect it to R3. R3 we have chosen 1K. So this is the 1K we have connected. Now from tail end of that 1K, it is going to ammeter. Tail end of the R3, it is going to ammeter. Now from the tail end of the ammeter, it is going to, from the tail end of the ammeter, it is going to ground. It is going to ground. Now if you switch on the circuit, you see 10.1 ampere current, milliampere current was flowing, which is exactly the same for this. It is reproduced. This circuit has been reproduced. That is why the current is 10.1. Now you need to short circuit the R3. So just you take a wire just take a wire and just short this R3 1K. You need to just short this. Okay, you need to just short it. So let us switch it on. So you see the current is now flowing 156.2 milliampere. Please take that.
57.6.
157.6.
Start.
So after determining the Norton current, next step to determine Thevenin resistance, which has already been done in the previous theorem. After determining these two parameters, let us construct Norton's equivalent circuit, which is Norton current in parallel with Thevenin resistance and load resistance. Now, what is the current flowing through the R3? It will be by you know by current division rule. This will be the formula, and the verified current is coming 7.6 milliampere. Although this current is less, however, this would be the process to verify the Norton's theorem. Due to some human error or due to some the problem in theorem kit, this much amount of error is coming in case of Norton's theorem. However, it is the normal procedure we should follow while verifying the Norton's theorem kit.
Start.
Now, in case of superposition theorem, you must have two sources present. At least two sources are present. Now you have to operate one source at a time, while others must be in a deactivate mode. So if you have our original circuit, let us V1 is active, so V2 has to be deactive, V2 has to be off. Since V2 is a voltage source, it must be shorted. So I1 is the current flowing through R3. So we need to record the I1, and for the same thing in the next step, V1 must be deactivated, V1 must be off, so it is shorted, V2 is active, V2 is on. So you need to record the response I2. So what will be the verified current in case of superposition theorem? You need to add those responses I1 plus I2. This is all about the superposition theorem. So we have the same circuit here, which has been developed at the very early stage, and the current you see it's 10.1 milliampere. Now, if you shorted this V2, that means you need to just short this source. You need to just short this source, and your current is coming 5.5 milliampere. Your current is coming 5.5 milliampere. What it has been done? Just V2 has been shorted by this wire. Okay, just V2 has been shorted. Now this same procedure will be repeated in case of V1. While V1 has been shorted, then current I2 has been recorded as 2.2 milliampere. And finally, when you add them, 5.5 plus 2.2, it will come as 7.7 milliampere. This will be the verified. Again, this value is quite low, maybe due to some error or due to some problem in this network elements. However, this must be the procedure to follow in order to verify Thevenin's, Norton's and superposition theorem. So before finishing, I beg my apology not to show you the accurateness of superposition theorem and Norton's theorem. However, the accurateness of Thevenin's theorem is quite excellent, as you see from the result. So with these notes, I end my lecture.